How's it going, everybody? Doing a gum chewing review here tonight of Resident Evil 2. I have the Xbox One version. It's also on the PS4. I have beaten it on the Leon campaign. I've beaten it with it. I'm about 2/3 done on the Claire campaign. But I wanted to really do a review of it because I really enjoyed this game quite a bit. It's obviously a remake of Resident Evil 2 that came out back in the day on the PlayStation, and then they released it on the I think it came out a little bit later on the N64. I don't think it came out the same time as it did on the PlayStation. And then they put it out on the GameCube, and the Dreamcast might have got it as well. Or maybe they just got 3 in Code Veronica. I don't know. But anyway, it's a complete remake, similar to what the GameCube version was of the original Resident Evil. Completely re-upped the graphics. They've added stuff, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's pretty long. I beat Leon's campaign in, I think, 9 and change hours. I think. Or 8 or something. And I'm at about 5 with Claire's right now. Because, the campaigns are different. Claire's is a little different. You use Sherry Birkin, briefly in a scene. She's in an orphanage with the police commissioner, and you got to escape. It's pretty quick, but it's a nice kind of change of pace, I guess. And Claire also, she ends up going to the orphanage as well, and she goes into you get into some different rooms as Claire too, inside the precinct. So, and things are kind of, the codes are different for things and stuff, and she gets to stuff differently, and some things she doesn't get as well, and they both get different guns. Leon gets the flamethrower, Claire gets the grenade launcher. Leon gets a Magnum, I believe. Claire has I got the 6-shooter for beating it with Leon. I guess it was like one of the unlockables, but they get some different weapons, different handguns and stuff. And she also gets like a laser shot type thing. I forget what it's called. But you shoot an enemy and then you can charge it up and it electrocutes them. But it's actually pretty creepy. I don't find the Resident Evils that creepy. I like the atmosphere, but overall I don't find the game to have like the dread of like a Fatal Frame or a Silent Hill. Resident Evil 7 was extremely creepy, I will say that, but this one actually is pretty creepy. It's good. It's very dark. They both have a flashlight you got to use in spots. With the lickers, you can walk slowly to avoid them attacking you, but then they'll chase you if they know you're there and stuff. The Tyrant is he will just come. He comes in earlier in Claire's campaign than he does in Leon's, and he will just keep following you out of nowhere. You hear him coming too. When you go into like the save room, you hear him walking around still and stuff, and he'll mess you up. I shot his hat off and got an achievement, and then he punched me to death. But he pops up a few times. You fight William Birkin as well. Sorry, I should say there's spoilers here. Because he takes the G-Virus, he injects himself with it, and there's 3 stages of that fight. And graphically, it looks good. It doesn't look like top of the, kind of this generation of consoles games, but it looks really good. Voice acting is solid. Leon and Claire are both solid. There's a few people that are really good. The guy who voices Marvin, the cop you run into, is Leon. Who helps you out a little bit. He's really good. Police Chief or Commissioner Irons is pretty good too. None of the voice acting's bad, but that guy in particular was really good. I was like, man, this is a really good performance. He didn't have a lot of lines, but he did them real well. And it's the classic Resident Evil. So, and this one's cool because you actually can move and shoot, which I'm pretty sure they introduced in like Resident Evil Revelations of all games. And then 6 had it, and obviously 7 was first person, but you you could move and shoot in that as well. But you can move and shoot in this, was nice. It still has the inventory system. You can find pouches throughout the game to upgrade and get 2 more slots each time. I don't mind the inventory system because they have the when you go to save room, there's the inventory chest where you can place items in. It's not as much as that you can't carry it that much, early on, but it's about what you need to bring. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just don't, you're like, oh, I should have brought the crank, but I didn't. Now I gotta run back in. That's still a little bit annoying, but it's not that bad. But, you gotta find cranks, and you gotta get codes for this, like, there's letter locks, and there's also, a few actual safes. And you can get weapon upgrades for your things, your shotgun. Leon gets a shotgun too, which Claire doesn't get. And Claire gets the submachine gun, but you can upgrade it with a stock and stuff like that, and more ammo. You find them throughout the game. Like, if you one part you get a roll of film and you bring it to the dark room, and then it shows you where there's 2 hidden things and stuff. Cool stuff like that. And the codes to lockers, there's puzzles in it and stuff, and you gotta find some stuff out. Nothing too crazy. I will say a frustrating part about this game. Now, it's not like shooting the head zombies and they just go down. I mean, you have to. Some of these zombies, the heads will sometimes you get lucky and they'll explode. But with some of the guns, man, I put 8 shots into this dude's head. He goes down, he gets back up. It takes a lot of ammo to take out the zombies. And they have this annoying, you can't sidestep a lot of them if you're in close quarters. You sidestep them and they reach out and they get this extra reach to grab you. And you get the secondary items where if you have a knife or a grenade equipped, you can use it on them and break free without them taking any health. But I mean, moving's alright, but lickers will catch up to you fairly quickly if they're chasing you. The tyrant doesn't move super fast, but it's kind of funny if you're in the main hall and you hear him open the door and you see him and then he starts coming after you. It adds a little tension and stuff. It's really good. Like I said, the voice acting's solid. The combat's good. There are plenty of enemies to attack and pretty good variety. I mean, they're obviously all the old ones, the licker and the tyrant pops up. You get into the underground lab and there's these different kind of plant type enemies. Zombies, but I mean, there's not too many modeled zombies. You'll shoot the zombie that looks the same 10 times, 15 times throughout the game. The cat is snoring again. If this is picking it up, it might be. What else? There is also the Ghost Survivors. It's a game you play afterwards. You can use this kind of cool because these are people just random NPCs that are part of the game, like the guy who owns the gun shop. In Resident Evil 2, he obviously gets killed. All these people do get killed in the actual original version, but in this one you get the you do little scenarios with them where they don't die and you gotta get to the extraction point and stuff. I haven't beaten any of them yet. They're pretty tough, but they're cool. You gotta like the one guy, Robert Kendo, he's a gun shop owner. He's pretty set up early, so you can fight through pretty good, but there's no saves or anything, but you'll come across the little old, candy machines where you put a quarter and get candy, and you can choose one of the 3 items that are in there. And some of the zombies have backpacks on, which you can shoot them and then get the backpack full of stuff. But they're quick and they're fun to play. You use him, you use, I think her name's Catherine something, one of the victims of the police chief. One of the guys who's in the guy Hunk's squad who's trying to get the G-Virus as well. The commando unit type people. And I think there's another one. I haven't unlocked it yet, but you use a sheriff. But it's pretty cool. It's a cool little side thing, and the music and the one guy's is awesome. It's super intense and really actiony. It's cool. But yeah, and you come across Ada Wong, obviously, in Leon's campaign. You actually use her too in Leon's campaign for a little bit after Leon gets shot. And obviously, you know that relationship over the course of the series. Like I said, it's cool. The atmosphere is actually really good in this. It's actually legitimately creepy, and you can, get boards. You can get boards in the precinct and board up windows. And if you don't board up certain ones, obviously zombies will start coming through, and they will come through throughout the game as well. It's kind of like a little strategic. You can get 2 different types of gunpowder. You can mix gunpowder to make different ammo and stuff like that, which is cool. And obviously, you can mix your herbs that you get throughout the game. Green herb is for health, red's for blues for poison. And I don't know if red actually does anything on its own. But if you mix them all, if you mix all 3, you get a little boost too, where you can take more damage, which is pretty cool as well. But overall, it's really good. I mean, I would give it a 9 personally. Like I said, graphically it looks good. Voice acting solid. Combat's fun. Atmosphere is really good. It's got solid length too, and the campaigns are different enough, which is good. And it has the bonus mode of the the Ghost Survivors stuff, which is nice. I think you can unlock the hunk part where you gotta escape as him and Tofu, which were in the original. And you get if you can beat it in a certain amount of time, you unlock stuff in both of these, and you gotta shoot in the main game in the Ghost Survivors. You gotta shoot the little Mr. Raccoon kind of figurines and stuff like that. They're hidden throughout the game. My only real frustration with it is and sometimes when the tyrant, or Mr. X, whatever they call him, is chasing you, like there's a part where you're in the library and you gotta use the jack to move the bookshelves over so you can get across, because the character can't just jump a gap that's like this big. But you have to, like, if he's chasing you, you gotta do it, and you gotta get rid of the zombies first that are in the room. You gotta do it and then run around, have him follow you, do another one, run around. It's a little annoying, but the zombies with their extra reach to grab you is like ridiculous. It's like they are infected with zombies. They kind of shamble around. They move somewhat quick, but you should have the skill to get past these guys. I'm surprised they didn't have like a roll or something. I mean, you could do a quick turn, but that's a minor nitpick, though. Like I said, you get the defensive weapons or the secondary weapons that will help you out if anybody grabs you. Pretty much, you can use it and escape. There's not many insta kills. The plant creatures will kill you in one shot. Like their head opens and they'll eat you, eat your head or whatever. But I mean, even the tyrant won't kill you. At least he didn't on mine in one shot. It's got 3 difficulty levels. I played on the standard one. I may go back at some point and play on the harder difficulty. I'm not sure. And you gotta you gotta find stuff and then do that with it and stuff like that. Like I said, with the inventory system and the inventory chest, it's a little bit of a strategic thing. And what do I take with me? What do I do? Do I bring the right thing? I have too much stuff. Like I said, none of the puzzles are overly hard. Like I said, the enemy design's good. There's lickers. The tyrant's chasing you. There's zombies. There's those plant things. There's these things in the sewers, too, that are really huge and will grab you. They poison you, actually. Those are the things that poison you. But like I said, it's good. It's enjoyable. I definitely want to do a gameplay of it. Maybe this week. Here's the back. You got Ada Wong there, Claire, and Sherry Leon. I got it for pretty cheap. It was I got it for $17.99. It was like 19 and change after free shipping from GameFly. Happy to have it in the collection though, for sure. I thought I heard they were doing it with Resident Evil 3 as well. I really hope they do, because these are the remakes I like. It's not like the friggin' here's Dishonored remastered with slightly better graphics, or Sleeping Dogs. It's like, they add all the stuff in there, which is nice, but this is a legitimate remake. It's not a slight upgrade or a remaster. Obviously, for instance, Survival Horror, unless you were too young, you probably played this back then. I beat it on the N64, but definitely pick it up if you're into Survival Horror. There's a lot of downloadable Survival Horror games, but not a lot you can get on disc. There's this Resident Evil 7. They have the Call of Cthulhu game. I'm sure there's some others as well that I'm forgetting, but it's like downloadable ones. You get like Layers of Fear and stuff like that, which is cool. So there's a good amount on there. But yeah, Resident Evil 2. Definitely pick it up if you're into the genre. Even if you're not, it's a good puzzle game, action game, inventory management game. It's cool. Like they said, the environment in the precinct's really cool. The chemical lab, or the nest, when you get into the nest, is cool. Sewer part was probably my least favorite, but I still liked it. But when you get into the nest, they call it, which is like the lab and stuff. I like that area too a lot. But yeah, definitely pick it up. Like I said, I'd give it about a 9 out of 10. Well worth checking out. But thanks everybody for checking this out, and have a good night.